Ladies and gentlemen, James Gunn, the Marvel director of Guardians of the Galaxy, Dave Bautista, who plays the Destroyer, and Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hey, are we supposed to sit down now?
Please take a seat.
All right.
Please take a seat.
Look how pretty Zoe looks.
Oh, she looks amazing, right?
Look how pretty Dave looks.
Dave looks amazing as well. You know, James, maybe you want to unbutton your shirt as well. Now, let me not read back the profile that you all have seen of James. I'm told that the filmmakers were looking for a visionary director who could deliver a well-balanced mix of humor, emotion, and action while working with unique characters. And his job was then to bring them to life in an unexpected, unique, and three-dimensional way. Wow. Well done, James.
Thanks.
Okay, and judging by how they enjoyed the 17-minute clip earlier on, you're a legend. Now, James, welcome to Singapore. We hope you're well-rested for your jam-packed day.
I am. I got great sleep last night.
Yeah?
After seeing The Giant Baby. Have you seen The Giant Baby?
We have.
That's my favorite thing I've ever seen in my entire life is The Giant Baby. What is that giant? Do you know what it's called by any chance?
I'm not sure, but I know it did cause a little bit of a stir.
People didn't like it? Like, is it?
Well, let's just put it this way. Not everyone loved it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Okay, now, James, in most markets here in Asia, we love action movies. And we hear you're a big fan of comedy, of humor. Okay, and I just want you to know that here in Asia, we love that mix. If it's an action movie and it's got humor in it, people don't just catch these movies once, they catch it more than once. So, how much humor have you packed into Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, James?
Well, I think that really Guardians of the Galaxy is about the characters. And I think that these characters are in and of themselves funny. So it wasn't so much a matter of me trying to pack in the comedy. It was just letting these characters and these actors here fully express themselves so that the humor was able to come out in a natural way. And it's interesting you speak of Asia because I really, a lot of the films that influenced me growing up and today are Asian films, where they're the films of Korea or China or Japan. I really have found that those movies deal better than American films with that mix of action and comedy. And I think that hopefully Guardians is a way to sort of mix that Eastern influence with the Western influence of Marvel.
Thank you very much, James. And since we're talking about action and all that, I think one of the most difficult characters to cast, from what I understand, was the character of Drax. So here we go, Mr. Dave Bautista.
How you doing?
Can we have another big round of applause for Dave, please?
Thank you. Thank you.
Should I just refer to you as Champ?
You can if you want. I've been called Champ a few times.
Now, folks, Drax is quite an intense character who is also a brute warrior. It was a first for the studio to work with a globally known wrestler, but they found a perfect Drax in, of course, Mr. Dave Bautista. Now, once again, welcome to Singapore, Dave. Thank you so much for increasing the average height of the people here in Singapore for this week, at least. Now, we are indeed thrilled to have you here. Are you aware of your crazy fan base in this country?
That's weird. I don't realize it anywhere I go. It's always still weird to me when people walk up and they know who I am. I don't know, man. Just kind of.
Did you see the people out there with their figurines and all and posters wanting you to sign?
No, it's still. I don't know, man. It's just because I think I'm just like inside. I feel like such a normal guy, and I'm also somewhat of an introvert too. So it's always just kind of surprising.
Yes, he's very shy.
Okay. Now, Dave, how physically demanding was the role of Drax?
It was somewhat, but that's always been the easy part for me. I'm a physical guy. I've always, working out has always been. It's kind of been my thing. It's been my release. It's been my therapy. So it's something I've always done. So physically, it wasn't as tough as it was just stretching myself as an actor because it's still all kind of new to me, and it was such a large role, and and I was stepping on stage with some of the best, most talented people in the world, actors and directors, and it was just, I mean, it was very challenging. It was more challenging, in an acting standpoint rather than physical standpoint.
Well, I just wanted you to know, Dave, that you're an inspiration to a lot of people in Southeast Asia, especially the children, and know this, we are always rooting for you.
Thank
Dave.
you very much.
All right. Another big hand for Dave, please. All right, our next star worked with James on her character very, very early on to add several shades to her persona in the movie. She is fearless in her role because she doesn't want to be liked all the time. Now, Gamora, we know from the comics, is a deadly green-skinned assassin. Zoe Saldana says she is attracted to the unimaginable stories and places. Now, Zoe, welcome to Singapore. Big hand for Zoe. Super excited to see you here in Asia, Zoe. This is your first visit here, am I right?
First time here in Singapore, yes.
Singapore?
Yes, but I've been dying to come here for a very, very long time.
Okay. Enjoying it so far?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys arrived last night.
Huh?
Did you arrive last night?
Yesterday morning, actually. We arrived at 3:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And we didn't go to bed until 8 because we were watching the game. Yes, and then this morning I woke up at 3 because I had to watch the game. So I'm happy to say that Argentina made it to the final.
Okay. So what's your prediction for the final then? Argentina and Germany?
Yes.
I think you're like a lot of us. We don't want to jinx it.
No. Oh my God, no.
Okay. All right. Now, Zoe, what was the audition process like for you for this role of Gamora?
This time around, you would think it's easier when you just get a phone call by a director and tells you, you are the only choice that I've had for this character, so please read the script and tell me what you think, and it would be awesome to have you on board. You feel very, very blessed. The first thing that you feel is flattered, super blessed. Your ego gets a little like piqued as well. And then the second thought is absolute panic, because it means that if you say yes, there's a lot of expectations lying on your shoulders, because work that you've done before has brought the attention of this awesome director, and he's relying on you delivering what he's seen you deliver before, that he's thought was so cool. So you kind of think, I was a little nervous when I said yes, and then they told me about the 5.5 hours of makeup every day, and then they told me about shooting it for 5 months, and we were going to be shooting it for 6-day weeks, and there was going to be a lot of action and fighting and rehearsals, and I thought, okay, yes. But I kind of went like, okay, yes, I'll do it. Like, I didn't want to like realize what I was getting myself into, and it ended up being a great experience because it had everything of what I grew up wanting movies to have. It had action, it had comedy, it had a lot of imagination, and the story was really complete, and all the characters had such a beautiful journey. From the beginning to the end, individually, but also as a collective. And I thought this is a great ensemble picture to be a part of.
Right. I just want to thank, I think on behalf of all the, members of the press here, because I do a radio show as well. And, I've seen the 17-minute clip that these guys caught this morning, and I couldn't help talking about it on my radio show. And I hope all of you do the same in your articles after seeing the 17-minute clip, because it was hilarious. There was action. I was just blown away. I can't wait for it to open here in Singapore on the 31st of July. So once again, thank you very much to the people at Marvel and Disney and you guys for taking time off your busy schedules to come down to Singapore for this Southeast Asia press tour. And we're going to end the session here on stage with one last question, and this is for James. Could you just tell us a little bit more about Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's a big question. Listen, I really think that Guardians of the Galaxy is a movie for everybody. It's a movie that's about the galaxy, and I think that we're living in a time when there's so many problems in our world. There's so many problems between different countries around the world, and Guardians is really about a group of outcasts group of people who feel like they don't belong, coming together, finding something within themselves that they didn't know that was there, something heroic, something wonderful, and very simply, something good. And I think this is a movie about the good in all of us, no matter what country we're from, no matter what part of the world we're from, no matter whether we're rich or poor. It is a movie about the love of ourselves and each other and finding the good within ourselves. And if there's anything that makes this movie worthwhile, making and spending 2 years of our lives doing nothing else but this film, it's for people to be able to walk out of the theater feeling a little bit better about themselves, feeling a little bit better about the person they were sitting next to in the theater, and feeling a little bit better about the world in general. And I hope that's something that we can do. And I hope it's something that we can do to continue to protect not only, the United States, but the entire world, the entire galaxy. And I hope that the Guardians can continue to do that after this film.
Part 2, everybody.
Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, James, Zoe, and Dave. Give them a big hand, everybody. All right, bye-bye. We'll see you guys at the red carpet on Saturday. I'm kidding. Oh, no, I got you too, Dave, please. I'm sorry. See, we didn't prepare this. My God, that backfired. I'm going to get it backstage later. He's going to slam me on the ground, rear choke me. No, it's time for the Q&A session. Okay. So you're going to be asking the question together. Where are you guys from?
I'm Jill, he's Josh. We're from Hot FM. So
You guys look cool.
Thank you.
I love your look.
Show off. Stop it.
Awesome.
Okay, first question though, do you like the hair? Yeah. Is approved? Hollywood approved?
Yes.
All right, Zoe Zaldana likes my hair. Okay.
Okay, so we saw the footage, loved it. Where do we sign up for the sequel? Because that's where the money is at. That's where
I think the easiest way to sign up for the sequel is buying a ticket to go see this film, and that's a vote of confidence in making the sequel.
Woo! All right. Okay, so it's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid to arm wrestle Bautista. And now that you're here, and you know what? Since Jill is here, you want to take on Zoe?
Yeah, it's been my dream for 2 seconds since you mentioned it.
Wait, but I'm a southpaw.
Oh, okay.
I'm left-handed.
Ooh.
Are you left? Can we do it
Left-handed.
left-handed?
Can you do left-handed?
Bring it.
We can do. Oh, let's do this. Marvel Universe versus Singapore, y'all. Let's do this. Can we do this? Let's do this.
You guys want to do it now?
Let's do it now. Let's
Can we
totally
do the questions first?
Let's do it now. Let's do it now. Let's go.
You guys have to be.
One,
You guys have to
just
be.
one. You and Dave. You and Dave.
I saw a guy. I saw
Why
a
are you
guy that was.
volunteering
This is
me?
true. At the rap party,
Yeah.
a guy was physically assaulting a girl at the rap party.
Okay.
And Dave protected this young lass. And the guy came running at Dave, and Dave just kind of hit him like this. He touched him just with the base of his heel, and the guy flew 20 feet. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. That's totally true.
So which is why-
you if you want to keep your arm, I would suggest not arm wrestling.
Right.
We'll do it
So
after.
I'm
do it
with
after.
James. I'm not approving this. I'm sorry.
But I am by nature
last
a
question.
passive person.
What color are you going to be in your next movie? Because you've been blue, green. I've got my money on red.
Well, because of my engagements with Avatar, I think I'm going back to blue before I hit red.
Nice.
But if I ever hit red, I'll let you guys know.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, next question. How about this gentleman right here?
Hi, Alvin from Today newspaper. Zoe, you're the only female in the main cast. How does it feel to be like, leading the women into the battle for the Guardians and all that?
It feels great, and it's empowering because I know that it brings out, it delivers a very strong message to young women that besides being beautiful and delicate flowers, that you can also channel your strength and not be afraid of it. And because it's very rewarding when you know that you can climb a tree or you can grab a weapon, and even though we're in the world of make believe, you can see yourself kind of doing all these things, and you feel very empowered. I'm actually very happy to say that I'm not the only female in this cast. That Karen Gillan really did an amazing job, and it felt really great to know that I was sharing screen time with not only amazing male actors, but also with another female actress, because sometimes being the only female can get a little lonely.
Would you like to see your sister join you in Guardians 2, maybe?
Yes, I have two sisters, so I'm pretty sure that it would be awesome if both of them can join, and they can learn to fight too.
Karen and Zoe were a lot of fun to watch on set because they have a huge fight scene with these two superpowered females fighting each other, and they're like two female Clint Eastwoods, like tough and battling it out and going, and then all of a sudden I'll say cut, and then they both go.
It's true.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next question. This gentleman over here. And maybe we can get ready with the next question. That guy over there, the other mic. Yep.
So James, now that you've made a crazy multi-million-dollar blockbuster for a major corporation, are you ever going to go back to making something like Slither, which is one of my favorite films?
I made that movie for a major corporation also. I made that for Universal.
Oh, yeah.
Just a smaller movie. I really do whatever I feel like doing in the moment. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, It could be another Marvel movie, or it could be something else that comes up at the last minute. I pretty much do what I believe. And I don't approach a small movie like Slither or Super any differently than I approach a big movie like Guardians of the Galaxy. I do everything I can fully with my heart, as true as I possibly can. And I've been very fortunate in my career thus far to have producers like Marvel who have let me kind of had free reign and do something really creative and excellent, even though it's made for such a large budget.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jed Young, F Magazine Singapore. I wanted to ask, of all the movies in the Marvel Universe, it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy is the one of the most obscure source material in the comics. So did you feel extra pressure to prove that this could work, or were you encouraged by the oddball nature of the premise and really went nuts with it?
I feel like because Guardians of the Galaxy, in the comics, they aren't as well known as, say, Captain America or Iron Man or the Avengers, I felt like that gave us a lot of freedom to really create the cinematic version of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that Guardians of the Galaxy is more at home on screen than it is in the comic books. And it is first and foremost a cinematic property. So I felt like it gave me a lot of freedom to really do something interesting with it and create lovable characters like Zoe and Dave and the whole guys, and Groot.
Did you just say lovable characters, James?
Yeah, lovable. I mean, they're a bunch of a-holes, but they're still lovable. Even Drax.
Bobby.
He's the biggest a-hole.
Thanks, Glenn. Same radio station, by the way, Class 95. James, it's interesting because the Marvel universe right now is getting so big, and especially this is I believe, the last Marvel movie till we go into Avengers 2, The Age of Ultron. How much did you work with Joss Whedon on this, and how much pressure was there from Marvel to kind of get this movie to the next phase of the Marvel universe?
Well, I felt like I'm very fortunate in creating the first leg of the Marvel cosmic brand of Marvel Comics. So our hope would be that we can create many more movies that are in the Marvel cosmic universe. I think Joss and I have been friends for a long time. Joss read the script, he gave me notes on the script, and the biggest note he gave was to make it more James Gunn. And I said, it's your funeral, and that's what I did. So that was Joss's input, basically, and then also we had to work together in casting Thanos, because Thanos is going to appear in stuff that I do, as well as stuff Joss does. But other than that, I pretty much had free reign, and it wasn't so much having to make this movie lead somewhere. It was more creating a really great foundation so that it could lead somewhere. Because we don't want to have to just fill in the dots. We want to create something that has substance and that we believe in and it is very exciting and real and true. And give a lot of answers, and then some of the answers we leave unanswered so that there's places to go for the Guardians to go in future, adventures together.
All right.
Thank you,
very
Bobby.
much.
Thanks. He's going to be talking about this entire thing on his show at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm sure. Next question, please. That gentleman over there.
Hi, my name is Zed from justsaying.sg. Just a question, because as you said, you got a lot of leeway this time, but say Drax as a character throughout the comics, he's been played many different ways. He's been strong like a space Hulk, he's been dumb, he's been not so bright, very bright. What kind of Drax are we going to see in this movie? I mean, we saw the 17-minute clip. He looked like a really straightforward person, but what's he like?
That's good for Dave.
He is in that, that's kind of that was the hard part for me in the beginning. There was really no reference to Drax. Drax has changed so much throughout the years. It was hard, so it's kind of weird now because I think I'll be the reference for Drax for years to come. But the greatest thing about Drax is he is a very literal character, which leads to a lot of good laughs. But I think he is. I always tell people the way I describe, because he's always described as this warrior who's hell-bent on rage, and I always say that no, at the core of Drax is heartbroken over the murder of his family, and he's just a very honorable guy, but he's very literal, and there is that insane side to him. He just that sociopath side to him, where he doesn't. I don't think Drax knows that it's wrong to kill people. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. He doesn't get it. But that's a great thing about Drax is that he's got a heart that's bigger than his brain. He's a very literal character, and I think at the core of him, he's just heartbroken.
Thank you, champ. Next question. One of the two ladies there in front. Same question? Are you guys asking the same question?
Can we take turns?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Hi, I'm Nurul from Yahoo. This question goes to Zoe and Dave. We know that you all had to go through hours of get your makeup done. So what was going through your mind while waiting for the makeup to get done, and what do you have to do to pass the time?
Well, it was 5 months, so I'm pretty sure that on month 1 there were a lot of things going through my head, and then by month 4 there were other things going in my
Killed
mind.
James Gunn.
Yes. There, I thought that it was going to be harder, but it really wasn't, because we were also working with amazing makeup artists, and so you walk in and they create such a beautiful and serene space, and you pick a playlist sometimes, or you talk about something, or you pass out. And then you wake up and you're green, and that was actually interesting. The first week of trying to get used to that green makeup, and I think I did pass out because I was trying to deal with the jet lag coming from the States and working in England, and I passed out and I woke up, and it caused such an impression that I kind of like, it took a moment, because I was like, oh my God, what happened to my face? And I forgot that I had said yes and I was here doing the Guardians. No, it was actually fine, except when they would bring you earlier than they would bring catering. So you'd be hungry for like hours before the kitchen was open, and that probably would, I don't know if it made you mad. It made me crazy.
No, we did, and we did have a couple of those like 2:30, 3 a.m. call times. But for me, it's just I'm by nature a very zen person, so I literally just zoned out. I mean, I just was gone. So, it was a cool thing because I liked closing my eyes and I wasn't Drax, and opening my eyes and I was Drax. It was just kind of a cool mental thing and a way for me to kind of get in the character.
I was very curious because we were getting done in different trucks, and it's like, so how's Dave? How's Dave dealing with it? Because usually I heard that men just freak out, whatever. It's like, oh no, he's the most zen. He just stands there, and I'm like, oh really? So I had to kind of bring my game on, because at least I was sitting on a chair, comfy chair, laying down, whatever. He was standing up, right? The whole time for like 4 hours like this.
I had these little like perches that I could put my arms on, but I was standing.
And I'm like, what does he do? He goes, he meditates. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't meditate. I would just put on Little Dragons band, and that's it.
Okay. Another question from there?
Hi, I'm Ashikin. I'm from the newspaper. This question is for Dave. Dave, I read that when you got the role, you were so overwhelmed. Some tears were shed. Is this true? And can you share with me what happened?
Not completely true. I literally broke down. There wasn't a few tears. I was driving. I was actually on my way to the gym. Surprise, surprise. I was on my way to the gym, and my manager called. And his name is Jonathan Meisner. He's my best friend in the world. And we've known each other 26, 27 years, and he's been with me throughout my career. He's my rock. So he called me, and he said, hold on for a second. And he wouldn't tell me. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And he got my agent on the phone, and he said, congratulations, Mr. Drax. And I literally just broke down. I drove home. I was just a mess, and people love this story. For some reason, they I don't know, they were amused by hearing me say that I broke down in tears, but it was a big deal to me, and I think, I can never explain to people how big this was for me. It was a life-changing thing for me. It was hard for me to leave behind wrestling, and I worked and struggled and auditioned, and finally got the dream role of a lifetime, and it was like, make or break. I mean, I pretty much, I lost everything that I had gained, during wrestling. I lost it all, and because I took a chance on myself, because I had this passion for acting and I wanted to pursue it. So there wasn't a few tears. I'm proud to say that I broke down, because it meant that much to me.
See, that's why I said you're an inspiration to a lot of people.
Yay for crying. Yeah, it was really touching. I mean, I think for all of us, I think of all the great moments that I've had throughout the process of making this movie. But one of the best moments for me was talking to Dave on the phone, like right after that, and calling you to talk to you, and I'm like, what are you doing? And you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just driving around in a cloud. I don't know what's going on. And it was like, it was really wonderful. And from the beginning, sometimes you meet actors who you really like as people, and you really want to give them the role, but they aren't right for the role, and you don't do it. You really give the role to the person, or at least I do, who deserves the role. And from the moment I met Dave, he and I had a sort of connection. Like within minutes of talking, I sort of got Dave, and I liked him so much as a person. I was rooting for him to come through a series of screen tests and a lot of different things he had to go through to try to get the role. And when he actually, proved himself to be by far, not, just slightly the best Drax. And the only person we've ever offered the role to is Dave Bautista, despite some stuff in the press that has been said. Dave is the only person we've ever offered the role to, because he's the very best. And when he actually, was that good, it was so touching to me that I got to make somebody, and I think I feel this way about all the cast, were people who I liked as people, but that also were the best people for the role. And I think one of the things about Guardians of the Galaxy, I was talking earlier about, it's about this group of oddballs and outcasts who, were plucked from, small obscurity in Marvel Comics and turned into these big movie stars. And I think that we've talked about this a lot, that we all feel like that. I'm a guy who's my last movie cost $3 million. It was an independent film. Dave is a wrestler who people didn't think of as a real actor. Zoe has been pushed to the sidelines her whole life because she's a person of color from a place that not everybody is from in this industry. Chris Pratt was a chubby guy when he got this role, And, Vin Diesel's a weirdo, and Benicio's a weirdo, and then the biggest weirdo of all is Michael Rooker, by far. And we're just a group of oddballs and outcasts who came together and made this movie and made something that we all feel really good about. And it's the parallels are very interesting to me all the time, and I know we all feel this way. And I think through this process, we've really come to love each other, and you'll hear us all talk about how much we like each other. And I think you hear that on all movies. The thing is, usually they're lying, and this time it's true.
Okay, last two questions, okay? Last two questions. Anybody else? Okay, one from there. No one from there already. Okay, this lady. All right, can we have the mic brought over to her, please? This lady over here. Yes, and after that, the last question for this gentleman over here, okay? Okay.
Hi guys, I'm from Digitas LBI. I just have a question. You were talking about all these oddballs and outcasts. So what advice do you have for people who feel like that they are some sort of oddballs or outcasts, and just any kind of words from the journey that you guys experienced through the movie and also outside?
Well, I think the first thing to remember when you feel like you're an oddball or an outcast is to know that at the end of the day, there's more of us than there are of them. And so many of us, from the time we were kids or whatever, were pushed aside, were treated as second-class citizens, were made fun of, were mocked, were told we couldn't do something. And the truth is it's a very few people that are telling us that we couldn't do that. And there really are more of us than there are of them. And I think for me, that's a real reassuring thought that we are the majority, even though we feel like we're the minority.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Last question.
Hi, I'm Nicholas from Pop Culture Online. I'd just like to ask Dave, how different is it kicking ass on screen compared to in the ring?
It's for some reason, everybody thought that it would be an easy transition, but I mean, wrestling and acting couldn't be any more different. I mean, they couldn't be any more different. And it wasn't an easy transition at all. And, I think that's the first time because my first acting gig I did as a favor to a friend, or for a friend, and was when I realized two things. One was how hard it was, and two, that I loved it, and I wanted to pursue it. But there's just not even a similarity. The only similarity would be that, there's a camera pointed at you, and that's it. That's where it ends. Wrestling is so big and so broad and so conversational, and acting is just so much more intimate and intimidating. It's hard for me to describe, but they couldn't be any more different.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Can we have a rousing round of applause once again for our stars, James, Zoe, and Dave. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Hey, it's Rocket. Rocket's in the house. Okay, right now we're going to have a group picture on stage. Okay, so photographers, get ready. Wow, that's really close, guys. Could you take like maybe 2 steps back? Like two steps back. Thank you. We have about 15 seconds left.